positive energy and good vibrations from me to you. You have now tuned in to Imperfect Fathers Podcast. Listen, man, as always, positive energy and
good vibrations.
From me to you, man. This is your boy, RJD, the Imperfect Gentleman, and
your boy, JP, the Imperfect Husband.
And this is another dope episode of the Imperfect Fathers Podcast. Yo, man, listen, I'm glad to be back, man. I'm glad to be a free man walking around in these streets.
Oh, you were locked up?
Nah, but Diddy is.
It's a setup.
You see what I did there? Yeah. Let me tell you something, bro. Like, every day is more breaking news, bro. Like, we just found out that he had 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube. He had the greasies. You know what I mean?
My man Rodell was saying that he was trying to the world.
Yo, listen. Diddy said he got a slip and slide, and he wanted to make sure it was still greased up. You know what I'm saying?
How about we talk to the man above before we keep going, because it's about to get crazy.
We gonna need his blessings for this, huh? Yo, with that being said, but let's talk to him, man. Father God, thank you for another day. Thank you for another hour, another second. Thank you for our lives. Thank you for everything that we have about us, God. We are appreciative of each and everything, God. We know that we give you the praise and the honor because you are the gift and the giver of everything. So, Father, for that, we say thank you. And right now, before we go any further, we ask you right now to send your blessings down upon us as we go across these airways, across YouTube, and anywhere else someone catches us. And we may be a blessing to them, not only just to entertain them, God, but to inspire them and encourage them to be a better version of themselves. But not just now, God, but for future generations to come. These are our prayers we ask you, God, because we understand that we plant the seed, but you bring the increase. And we ask you to give the increase. In Jesus' name we do pray. Amen.
Amen.
Yes, indeed, man.
Yes, indeed.
So, Diddy's...
1,000 bottles of lube, huh?
The increase that we was talking about.
1,000 bottles of lube on the wall. What?
Yo, listen, man. And today, I think I just read that like he had like they found like over 1,000 dildos. Yeah, that's today's news. Yesterday was the baby oil. Today is they found the dildos, bro. And I don't know how real the news is.
Dildos.
I found it was on Instagram. I'll show you the post. Like it was definitely on the gram.
1,000 dildos.
Yeah. Poor Meek Mills.
And no shirt.
Oh God. And he was a baby then. Dear God. Oh, young Bieber. Oh, Jesus. Yo, listen, man. Diddy is in trouble. Like, you know, in all honesty, he's in real trouble.
Most of them found Jesus.
Yeah. I'm a firm, no, I'm not gonna get us canceled. No. I'm not about to get us canceled. Never mind. I've learned better, y'all. Like y'all know me over the years. I've learned better. So if you know me, you know that's about to be crazy. So, and we ain't gonna do that one. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So this is crazy. This podcast life is crazy, y'all. I just want y'all to know that, man. But I'm not trying to get canceled, bro. So we'll leave that alone.
Shit.
But bro, so how was your week so far, man? We got some current event news in Diddy's life.
I don't understand it. Life just stay lifing.
Yeah. Yo, Jose, listen, bro. Like you talking?
Life just stay lifing.
We are the beneficiaries of life.
When you think you got it all figured out,
nah, you got nothing figured out.
God has a hell of a sense of humor.
Yeah. Oh yeah. His comedy is superb to all of ours.
You just gotta laugh. You just gotta laugh through it and keep pushing.
Because if not, you're gonna cry.
Yup.
Word up. And my man Eric Harris.
Ain't nothing wrong with crying.
No. Don't get it twisted. Now,
but when God does it,
mm-hmm.
just take it as it is. Don't cry. Just laugh about it. Keep it pushing.
Bro, listen, because my thing is like it's actually working out for your good. Yeah. And like I've been having a closer relationship with God only because I'm looking at him as truly the Father, how my son is looking at me. So it gives me a closer relationship with him because I'm looking at him now as I should have been all these years. But now I see him through my son's eyes because I see how my son sees me and what I give to my son.
The other day, I had heard something online, and and I repeated it to my son because it really impacted me. And hopefully it impacted my son as well, where I told him, you know, if you want to know how I am attempting to walk on this earth, read the book of my father. And it stopped him for a moment. He's like, Papa, I wrote a book.
All this time?
You never told me this.
You've been holding out, Dad.
And when I saw the confusion in his eyes, I explained to him, well, our Father, our Holy Father.
Right.
The Father of all, his book. It was like,
The light bulb went on?
Yeah.
That's dope, man, because what the question I was pondering this week, because as you know, I'm getting close to that 40 mark is coming up. And like I've been just in a state of reflection for the last couple of weeks, just reflecting of the first 40 years of my life. You know what I'm saying? Just the things I've done, the things I'm proud of, not so proud of, the good, the bads, just my whole life in totality, and just been looking back at it, and I'm saying to myself, wow, like, what am I going to leave with my son? You know what I'm saying? Of all the things that I've accumulated, it was a post, and it said, it was a woman's post. Her husband had passed away, and she said, the one thing I wish I would have did was ask my husband these 7 questions, and those questions were, what would you want me to tell our son about you? What belief would you want to instill in him? And it was a few more questions, but that thought process, it made me stop the video and write each question down. And me and my wife discussed it. And I'm like, yo, babe, God forbid, you know what I'm saying? I want Joe to, you know what I'm saying, to know that weeping may endure for a night, but joy is coming. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't quit on life. Like, don't give up. And she was like, it was kind of like sobering, because she was like kind of looking, the look at her eye was like, where you going? You know what I'm saying? Like, but there's no time for that when there's time for that.
Yeah, absolutely correct.
You dig what I'm saying?
We're here today. We don't know if within the next couple of minutes walking out this studio, it's our last time being on this earth.
Bro, and that's why, for real, I enjoy this podcast so much, because these episodes would be here long past our demise.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? Like, this moment right now that we're capturing right now will last forever.
That was one of our intentions.
Yeah, for sure.
To make sure that our great grandkids are able to come back and say, hey, look, that's Papa.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's really a good feeling knowing that this is the seed that we're planting. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, you know, your son right now is in a phase where he hear you, but he ain't listening to you.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Because we was there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I love my kids, but I hate teenagers.
And I haven't even got there yet, and I hate teenagers. You hear me? Like, just
and I try to think back to when I was that age and whatnot. But you know what? I know I had a spicy ass mouth.
Yeah.
It ain't nothing compared to these kids nowadays, bro.
But honest to God, it had to evolve with everything else. Think about it. Everything had to evolve. So their mouths and their sass and their wildness had to evolve. So think about our crazy back in our day, right? In our time, our crazy was deemed, oh my God, these kids are losing it.
You know what's crazy though? I could bet you anything though, that this generation ain't ready for anything that could come at them. I could tell, if back in our days, if aliens were real and they came to this earth, we were probably ready to go to war.
Everybody was in physical shape to whip their ass. Everybody was outside.
These kids now, if it ain't behind a fucking controller or a TV, they ain't gonna be able to kill shit.
Yo, listen. Them aliens and Martians come. They just taking us by drones with a press of a button. Come on, y'all.
These little fuckers can only kill shit on fucking Call of Duty.
That's it, bro.
And Fortnite.
You can't get them outside to kill nothing outside
at all.
Nah, you can't get them to come outside and do nothing.
They can't even kill a basket, bro.
Yo, you tell them go outside, give you 100 jump shots, they get as capital punishment.
Wow. I could do it on 2K.
I got my shots up already,
Dad.
I got
my shots on 2K earlier.
I watched 3 YouTube videos, Dad. What do you mean? You know what I'm saying? But the truth is, bro, that's where we are right now, kid. And like, the fact that we had so much flack for our time and space, it brings us into one of the topics of today's episode, and which is the grace and mercy.
Yeah.
I happened to learn this week what that actually meant, bro. So grace is, let me not mess this up. No, mercy is what you could have got, what you should have gotten, right? When someone shows you mercy because you deserve something and they don't give you that. But grace is for the things you don't deserve that you received. So,
which is what we get from our Lord all day.
Oxygen, the fact that our insides of our body function, we take those for granted.
Take those for granted.
You dig what I'm saying? Like, and it's crazy because you take it for granted until something goes wrong. You like, the other day it was like one of my friends was like, we was just talking about, oh yeah, man, I hate having to go pee so much. And when he said that, I was saying to myself, could you imagine not being able to pee, bro? And it just turned. The thought process stopped because it's like, wait a minute. Yeah, I thank God for being able to pee, bro. Because there are people right now that got bags connected. That they're not peeing on at their own will. It's whenever it happens. Or they're not peeing at all. And then they end up to their demise.
Intoxicated.
And when you get...
Is that intoxicated? Is that the word, intoxicated? Because it's poison. It becomes
toxic.
poison.
Toxic.
It becomes toxic.
Yeah. Because I'm about to say intoxicated, they had to drink something, right? Like, ew.
It becomes poison. It becomes poison in your body.
Yeah, no. And it's the one thing that I'm grateful for, bro, is the fact that we have so much of the grace and the mercy. Because, like, I've done some stupid shit in my life, bro, that I know I'm supposed to pay for. Because God has mercy on me. Like, I either haven't paid for it or I've paid it in a different way that was way less of the charge I should have gotten. You dig what I'm saying?
Let's hope that's the case.
I'm praying every day.
Let's hope that's the case, and it's not that we got to pay up in those pearly gates.
Man, listen, and that's why, for real, like, you can't do good for what you've done. You can just hopefully that everything that you've done speaks volumes for you rather than things that you're not proud of doing.
And repenting, asking for forgiveness.
Facts.
Asking for forgiveness, because that's why we are the children of God. We're the sons of Jesus.
Yeah, facts.
And he died on the cross so that we can be forgiven of our sins.
Absolutely.
And all it takes is for you to actually understand what you've done wrong and ask for forgiveness.
Yeah. It's just that simple. It's
that
not simple. It ain't that hard. Like,
understand what you've done wrong and ask for forgiveness. And that doesn't mean that you ask for forgiveness and do it again the next day.
Right.
Because you ask for forgiveness and understand that your life needs to change at that point.
Yeah. And honest to God, bro, when you ask for forgiveness, and it's like, it's not dealing with people. See, we get so caught up in like, if I did something to you, I'll say, oh, my bad, yo. You be like, well, I'm not ready to forgive you yet. And we'll take that internally and we'll place that same attitude towards God. But that's not the case. Like, it's crazy because we hold so many things. And in his word, he said he throws it into a sea of forgetfulness. All you have to do is repent and ask God for forgiveness and then be wholeheartedly, truthfully sorry about it. Like, to your point, you can't be like, yo, God, my bad. Tomorrow, here I go again.
Yeah, I go.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I go again.
Nah, that's slapping them in the face. But you got to be like they said in church, godly sorry. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you truly like, yo, listen. And that's why now I'm at the state with Jose, like, I'm not even asking for forgiveness if I'm not sorry. You think what I'm saying?
That's how it should be.
Yeah.
Those are things that we need to teach our children.
Yeah.
Right?
Word.
You don't just apologize because you apologize, then it loses its meaning, it loses its force. Your apology should be sincere and from the heart. It should be because you really are regretful for what you have just committed.
Facts.
Right? It's not because you want to make the other person because you want to make the other person happy because they're upset because of something you said. Nah.
Right.
If you said it, stand by it.
Word.
Stand by it because that means that you really meant it.
Right.
Right?
Absolutely.
If you said it, you really meant it. So stand by it.
Yeah.
Don't come and later want to apologize because now the other person's feelings are hurt.
Right.
Right? Instead, you should explain as to why you said that.
Right. Double down on it. Right.
Stand on it.
Absolutely.
And explain why you said that. Hopefully, the person that you said it to now understands your point and can go back and reflect on it.
Right. No, bro. And that's a great point because we have a lot of tendency, especially like, and I say fathers because that's who I deal with a lot. Being that we don't have that thought process or a visual of what a man should be, we don't know how to take our righteous indignation and stand on it.
Yeah.
Right? Like when we're upset for a solid reason, we have ground to stand on. We're so worried about someone else's feelings and emotions because we didn't have another visual of a man standing on his ground. So it's easy for us to waver. So now that I'm in stage where my life I'm at now, is like I stand on business from an emotionally healthy place, right? I'm not coming at anyone with malice in my heart. So anything that I do say, and I'm not saying that I don't have any mistakes, but anything I do say wholeheartedly, I meant that. So I don't have to double back and be like, well, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Well, no, this is why I said what I said, and I still stand by that. And it's like if I'm wrong, it's okay to be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'll come back and say, you know what, bro, my bad. I was wrong.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
I was wrong.
I'm big enough as a man to say I'm wrong.
Exactly. But that's because at that point you reflected and said, yo, you know what? This probably wasn't appropriate.
Right.
This probably wasn't appropriate. I should have thought about this better. Right. Or it could be that it was a moment of anger.
Right.
It was a moment of anger.
We are imperfect.
We are imperfect. Correct. And when we all know that when you're angry, you say things that you don't really want to say, even if they're true. Correct.
The heat of the moment will definitely cause you to say things that might put you in a space of regret.
So at that point, it's not apologizing about what you said.
Yeah.
It's apologizing that you said it and hurt their feelings with it.
Yeah.
Because it was something that was internalized in your part.
Yeah.
And it came out in the heat of a moment.
Yeah. And had that same statement been said in a different time or a different place, it would have
not came out in that
right,
moment.
And it wouldn't have had the same effect that it had.
Exactly.
And these are all lessons that come with learning grace and mercy.
Of course.
Because honestly,
you can't lead gracefully and mercifully if you can't understand what it is to consider what you're about to say to the next person, because that will have them react in a specific manner, right? It doesn't mean hold back what you're going to say.
Right.
It means understand what you're going to say so that you're constructive and not destructive.
Yes. And honestly, this brings me to a lesson that I just taught one of my guys, and I was supposed to go online with it, but I didn't. So I might just do it this week coming up. But the talk about understanding being aggressive and assertive. Because when you said just now considering somebody's feelings, the difference between being aggressive and assertive is consideration.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because when you're aggressive, you don't have any care or no thought process of anything or anyone else's feelings. You're just going to give out your thought process or your emotions, whatever they are, however you feel like doing it in that moment, regardless of who, what, when the situation is. But being assertive is considering, where am I at? People, place, timing, all those things are considered in you expressing either your feelings, your emotions, or your thought process.
Your articulation is different at that point.
Absolutely. And honestly, bro, like there is a lot of us, especially men, who don't know the difference in between being assertive and aggressive. So we'll take the route of being aggressive and wonder what's going on. I was being assertive. I was asserting myself. But the truth of the matter is you didn't consider anyone else in the process.
I wasn't being assertive.
No, it was being aggressive. Absolutely.
And that is destructive.
Yes.
Compared to being constructive.
Yes. And I that's something that even in my parenting skills, I had to learn. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because when your kids make you mad, you find yourself, you get aggressive.
Yeah.
Excuse me. You will find yourself getting riled up and aggressive rather than being assertive, where it's saying like, oh, let me tell you, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Going that route rather than just blowing up and just being demonstrative around the whole house just because you can. You see what I'm saying? And one thing I've learned from seeing both sides of that, because my mother, she was very, very voicative around the house. Like whenever she was in a bad mood, the whole house had to be quiet.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? Like
everybody
her mood determined the temperature in the house. And I didn't like that. Because it's like, even as a kid, I knew like that what you going through, I didn't do that to you. Why do I gotta have such a down and now on my day because of whatever happened to you or made you mad? So now for myself, I'm in a space where I found myself aggravated one day and I come home and I'm slamming doors and I'm aggravated. I'm yelling on the phone and I come out of the office and my kids are tiptoeing. Hi, Dad. walking past me weird. And I'm like, why y'all? Oh, I did this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's told me, like, nah, like, I got to show my children my behavior all the way around. It literally considers grace and mercy.
We are all guilty of that.
Yeah.
We're all guilty of having those really bad days, whether it's at work, whether it's in life, whether it's just driving down the road and somebody cut you off and now you're in a road rage position where you come home.
Yeah.
And the people who end up paying the consequences for that are the people in your surrounding. Now your kids are walking around the house, they be toying because daddy's upset.
Right.
We've all experienced that. It's about how we reflect on it.
Yeah.
Like, damn, like what you said, I did this.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't do this. I gotta make sure this changes.
Yeah.
I can't do this again.
Bro, and I even one day I had a meeting with somebody that one of the guys on my team, and I had to really chew him out. I had to really get into him because, you know, 1 time shame on him, 2 times shame on me, 3 times what am I doing? You know what I'm saying? So I got to that point as a leader, and I had to get into him a little bit, and the conversation got a little spicy and got loud. And it was cool because it was just me in the house at one point. But I didn't realize they had came into the house, and I was so loud and so just going so hard in the office. When I came out, I heard them walk in the house, but when I came out, they were walking back in again. And I'm like, wait a minute, didn't you just get in the house? She's like, yeah, when we heard you, we left. I was like, why? She's like, because Imani's like, your daddy's too loud. And I was like, Well, here I'm saying to myself, was that necessary? You know what I'm saying? Was the experience of them walking in the house worth whatever I said or even the point I was trying to get across?
And truthfully, if you think about it, bro, I think it's a double whammy here, right? The way you were acting was inappropriate, but the reaction to it was also inappropriate. I would say how I think it should have been dealt with is more of, okay, sit here, mommy, let me explain to you what's going on. Because we can't expect a child with a quarter of a mind to have the same understanding that we have with a full brain.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So it's about explaining to them, look, daddy isn't mad at you. He's not mad at Jojo. He's not mad at me. Daddy is dealing with a situation right now, and we just need to understand why he's being aggressive. Right? When he comes out that door, he's not going to act like that towards us.
Right.
So you don't have anything to worry about, mommy.
Right. And I would definitely say that in that case, I'm also glad she didn't, because I had a chance to explain it. You know what I'm saying? Because when she came in, it was like they were looking at me and they didn't want to come towards me. So I'm like, yo, come here. Like, what are y'all doing? And then like in that moment, there was a relief. They was like, oh, so you're not really angry right now. I'm like, no, daddy has some business to handle. Sometimes business gets a little loud. But at the end of the day, like, I'm not mad at y'all. We're going to play. Like, we're going to go to at that point, I needed to play. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, one thing I've learned that when adulting becomes too much, just play.
Oh, yeah.
Go play. Go tap into that inner child. So that's where my children help me out as well. They take me away from that world. So I explained to my daughter, baby girl, like, I just need you to be a kid, no matter what. Like, when daddy's having hard days, just be who you are. And it's going to change everything for daddy. Because the truth is, after I came out of that office, bro, I don't even remember what we was arguing about. I don't remember what the whole conversation was about, because when I locked into them, nothing else mattered.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to the point of us with the leading with grace and space, is grace and mercy, is that I've seen my son, bro, do something the other day, and he spilt water on the couch, bro. And it's water, and it's a couch. So it's not that serious. But the fact that I told him to stop leaving bottles of water on the couch is what threw me for the loop. Because it's like, before then, the water had not spilled. Back to our last episode about the
permissive parenting.
Permissive parenting. And if you ain't watched that episode, go check that one out. And like, comment, and subscribe as well.
Bang, bang.
Commercial. And I realized, like, I had been saying it multiple times, and now the water finally spilled. And I'm talking about I lost it. How many times? And then, like, I go in the back room, and it hit me. I say, yo, I'm doing exactly as we talked about in the episode, number 1. And number 2, how many times have I messed up in my life that I did not get what I deserved for that. Right? Like, because he deserved to put my foot in his ass right now. You know what I'm saying? Like
the whole thing.
The whole 10 and a half, 11. You know what I mean? Just, But the grace.
Hey, yo, that sounded Diddy like, bro. God damn, bro.
Well, no Diddy.
Take that back.
Yeah, my bad, Joe. No Diddy. Nah, no footing. Yeah, never mind. You see what I'm saying, Diddy? You messed life up for us. We can't even talk no more because of you, bro. Well, I hope you sitting there and realize what you did, bro. Like, you got us all messed up.
Hope the 1,000 bottles of Vaseline are in a jail cell with you right now. You gonna need them.
Yo, listen. Oh my, like, yo, you better get a sponsor from KY, baby. To take that version.
Oh.
Let me stop before I start sweating in here.
See the cellmates cross by. I know what you want.
They want from me is like the more money. Yeah, take that.
Take that.
Yo, listen, Diddy. We pray for you.
Oh, man.
We praying for you and
Yo, we out here laughing this hard at another father, bro.
Yo, but when you mess up, Papa, what you think? Like, and it ain't like
I really think that I'm not gonna say it wholeheartedly, but I believe that there's a lot more to the story and I think a lot more is being added to it to make him seem
Jose, of course,
more of a predator
and this is what I'm saying. Like, whoever
a predator is a predator, but I believe that there's a lot more going on.
His name, his status, and all things he's done over the years has added to the fire, right? Yeah. But the truth is, whoever's reporting this is a clown. I'm serious.
50.
Because 50 is definitely, but he had to find this out from somebody else. And whoever that person is giving the information is hilarious. Because think about it, of all the things that you've confiscated from Diddy, you gonna say 1,000 bottles of lube? like y'all found mad stuff. I know y'all found hella guns, hella other stuff. Yeah. I know y'all did. Mad Tunchi.
Every time I hear 50 go on one of those rants and when he's trolling on somebody, I remember 50's first song, Jackin' Ninjas for Beats.
Yeah,
you remember that when he was just dissing on the whole industry?
Everybody. They didn't
care
who it was.
From that moment, everybody knew that 50 was going to be the biggest troll in the industry.
Bro, and let me tell you something. It's like breaking news with Diddy. He's the reason I even seen 1,000 bottles of lubes first. Because it was his post he's holding, I think, Lindsay Lohan's hand or something like that.
How many dildos now?
Oh, I think like 1,000 dildos today they talked about. It's crazy. He's like, yo, look at me holding Lindsay Lohan's hand, and I even have 1,000 bottles of lube in my house. So I'm like, when I read the caption, I'm like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? 1,000 bottles of lube in his house? And then the next scroll I look up, they found 1,000 bottles of lube in Diddy's house. Diddy's something else, bro. You something else. But honestly, bro, to the point of us like talking about this dude as a father, bro, like I feel bad for his kids, bro, because number one, the son's brainwashed. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at the DNA you come from. Like, this is why I always tell people, like, I'm from a DNA that I don't know. You're from a DNA that you know. He's from a DNA that he sees in front of him, and he has no other choice but to be from. Yeah. So everything about him is Diddy.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think I believe in conspiracy theories. Mm-hmm. And I
so you think Diddy's being set up right now?
There's some setup to it. There might be some truth into it. Mm-hmm. There's some setup to it.
No, I believe that
you fucked with the wrong people.
But also too, because
they need to shut you up.
That's on the earthly realm that I'll give you that. But on the spiritual realm, bro, whatever you do, you're gonna have to pay for.
Yeah.
And what he's done over the years,
he's paying for.
And it's not even like this is against the character of the world we know him as. You understand? Like right now, if somebody was to say Roderick was doing XYZ, it's like, bro, you know my character.
Like for real, bro.
So it's like
take that somewhere else, bro.
With Diddy, it's like we've seen you act a fool.
And the rumors have been there from the get-go.
And bro, my grandmother used to say 1,000 Frenchmen can't be wrong. Everybody's saying the same thing about you.
When the river makes noise, it's because rocks it brings.
Yeah, facts. And I ain't never heard that shit before in my life. But to tell today, I was today years old when I heard that shit. Word up, man. But honestly, God, bro, like Diddy is type of father that when you look at the whole picture of it and where we were when we used to look at him as a good dude, when we looked at him in the 90s, because he's making this music, he's a mogul, right? A hip hop mogul. He's the face of the culture. We looked up to him to a certain extent. And now we're looking at him as like, you just fell from grace, bro. And like all stuff that you was doing to people behind doors is starting to come to the light.
It's
and
crazy.
That is terrible.
Suge Knight said this shit 1,000 times, and he was the one we were looking at as the bad guy.
Swear to God. We was looking at him like, oh, you hating, he's wilding, all this stuff, and he was telling the truth.
He was telling the truth from the get. He was like, you don't want that man in your videos. You don't want to sign to him.
He gonna do some things to you and you're not gonna be with. And let me tell you, don't quote me on it. I've been watching some of these YouTube vlogs and videos, so I'm only repeating what I've heard. Don't know it to be true or not, but from what they're saying is like, Diddy's responsible for a lot of men not only not being in the industry, but their sexuality changing.
Oh.
To mention Frank Ocean.
Oh.
He came into the industry as a heterosexual individual.
But he was preyed on by somebody also.
Yeah, Diddy was preyed on by somebody else. Whack 100 said that. He was like, yo, I'm not here to take him off the hook or give him no kind of way out of anything he's done, but y'all gotta realize like somebody did this to him.
Yep, it's a learned behavior.
Absolutely.
It was a learned behavior. Who was it that they said? It was Clive Davis?
Yeah.
That's what they mentioned.
Yeah.
Clive Davis.
And honestly, I'm glad we ain't in the music industry, bro. We can say whatever we want about y'all cats, and y'all ain't got nothing to do with it.
I was in the music industry, but independent.
Okay, so your holes is correct.
Let's make sure.
The way everything you operating was correct.
Let's make sure. And the Spanish industry is more macho dominated, all right? Let's just keep it
where it's at, right?
Exactly.
Let's be clear.
Let's be clear.
No misunderstanding over here. Hey, but listen, there's a lot of money in the persona of Diddy, right? And that's what I was getting at. The persona of Diddy is what so many of young men were looking at, was trying to be like. And there's people in his spot right now that even the younger generation is looking at, and it's because of the money, right? And we as fathers, we know that money is an issue that can cause a lot in the family's dynamics. And being a coach who deal with a lot of men with confidence issues, money sometimes is the thing that they try to use to compensate for it.
Yeah.
And the next part of the conversation right now I want to have is, does being the breadwinner of your home buy you the respect of a leader?
If your expectation is that by you being the breadwinner will give you the respect that you deserve in the house without giving the respect, then you have a lot of demons to cure within you.
Yeah.
To release from you.
You gotta wrestle with them.
Because money isn't the say all buy all, right?
No.
We said something once that falls right into this. When you're so rich, money can't buy that. Now, this goes into the factor also of if your wife is the breadwinner of the house, and because that she feels that she can belittle you or talk down on you, embarrass you in front of people. Should you respect that as a man? Now, because you're not making what you believe, you're not making the money that you believe you should be making, you're struggling to get to where you want to get, should you be dealing with that? Should you allow yourself to be disrespected in that manner? And how do you deal with that at that point, right? Because because you can't come walking through the doors, swinging flaming fists.
Yeah.
That's not gonna work. All that's gonna do is land you in the bookings.
Yeah.
Right. You need to deal with that in a more tranquil manner.
And honestly, bro, it doesn't matter what kind of money you have or don't have. It should not depict your character or your actions therein. Meaning, I don't care if you bringing in 200 grand a week or $2 a day. You coming in the house, how you come in the house and how you respect it should not have anything to do with that factor. You understand what I'm saying? Like, the money that you bring into the home should not be the measuring stick of how much respect you deserve, because the measuring stick of the respect you deserve is your character, not your finances.
Not your finances. I know people who you can tell when they're doing good in life.
Explain that. What
And
mean?
if the people that I have in mind right now, if they can treat their so-called friends in a shitty manner, imagine how they treat their significant other.
Yeah. All because they have a few dollars in their pocket.
Because they have a few dollars. And then you see the reverse side of that, right?
Yes,
I've also
the same
seen
ones.
them on the
same
reverse
exact
side.
ones.
Same exact people.
Yes.
When they have their thumb up their ass, they the humblest people in the world.
Oh, please, Jose, how you doing?
It is fucking amazing how you can see both sides of the coin.
Yeah, absolutely.
In one person.
Yeah.
And those is the people you need to try and keep at a length.
Absolutely. One thing I've learned, bro, is that, like, you can't tell if I got 1 million or 1,000. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's my character.
Yep.
It's not me trying to put on, right? It's not a facade. That's the word I'm looking for. It's not just, oh, I'm this way because I have this. Now, don't get me wrong. Only reason I can talk this way is because I've seen myself be that way at one point in my life. Yeah, you're looking at a guy that when I had a few grand in my pocket as a young man, I'll probably tell
arrogant.
You slapping my wallet was my thought process back in the day. Like, I'll knock you out my wallet.
I recall those days as well. We were all there. As when you're young, it's a process that you got to go through to understand the difference between having and not having, right? Yeah. Between being a son of God and not being, right?
Correct.
When you allow money to be the determining factor of how you treat people in this world, then you can never live in harmony and dignity.
No,
right?
Definitely not.
You will always live looking over your shoulders. You will always live looking over your shoulder. So once you become a grown man and you still live like that, I feel sorry for the person that you live with.
I feel sorry for you internally.
Internally, as a person.
Because you're not really, you don't even have a solid foundation of your own identity. If the amount of money you have in your account changes your character, your character, I'm not saying mood, because mood and character is different.
Totally different.
I ain't gonna lie. When my numbers is low, my mood might be a little low too. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna give it a stack.
You ain't alone.
When them numbers get a little low, so do the mood.
When you see this podcast starting, I'm like, positive energy and good vibration.
We know them funds looking a little scary.
Shit, that means that week wasn't that good.
It wasn't a good financial week. No, trust me, and that's the part I'm okay with. Like, yo, when you ain't rocking, cool. Your energy, all right, but it can't be your character. It can't be your character. It can't be determining factor of even your actions.
Yeah.
So I have a client right now, like he's even been honest. He's like, yo, bro, if I'm less than $100 in my pocket, like I'm not even cool with myself. And I'm like, so money's your God. Money is is what you look to for your guidance. Because if it's not there, you're lost. He was like, yo, I never thought about that. And it's the truth. If it has that much restraint on your being, you worship it.
Yep. It's the same thing. It's an addiction. It's the same thing as infidelity, using infidelity as your God.
Yes.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
It's the same thing. It's trying to fulfill trying to fulfill that emptiness that exists within you with something that's of this earth.
And seeking validation. That's really all it really is.
That's all it really is.
And when you feel like the money you have in your pocket makes you the man, like you feel like money validates you, that's when you're in trouble. Because automatically, if money validates you, that's the only thing anyone else around you can see about you.
Yep.
You understand? Like, their thought process of you is a dollar sign. Because money validates who you are.
Yep. If you get all the girls, everybody around you, that's all they see of you.
That's it. And it doesn't matter about the actual person at that point in time. Yep. Who you are internally, nobody knows. Based upon what you showed outside because of what controls you.
Yep.
And to be honest, let me tell you something, bro. When I've been in both situations, and now as a entrepreneur at full time, things fluctuate. So a few months, I'm the breadwinner where I'm covering all the bills for months on end. Wife she's carrying her check. She's like, oh, this is great. And then it could be 3 or 4 months where it's like she's the breadwinner and I'm barely bringing anything in. It's the ups and downs of this world we in. Oh. But at no point in time does my respect level drop or fluctuate. It doesn't. Because I don't. Who I am as a man doesn't change based upon how many dollars in my pocket. I'm still gonna come in that house. I'm still gonna look for the same respect because I'm gonna give everyone in the house that same respect. I'm gonna take care of everybody regardless of how much money I got in my pocket.
But it's how we're built also as men.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
It's how we're built as men. As men, we don't look at the finances that our significant other brings in.
We don't even count it.
we don't look at their finances.
We don't even count
it. I'm not saying all men are like that. There's well,
yes,
you know
ladies,
what? They're not men.
But before, yeah, right.
They're not
there
men.
You go.
Let's just
because you know a lady's about to come at you for that one.
They're not men.
Those are boys.
Those are boys. But men don't look at the women's finances.
No.
A man is going to be a provider, is going to try to be a provider.
Regardless of the situation.
Whether he has it or he doesn't.
Right.
And when he doesn't have it, he's going to stress.
Yes.
Because he said in his mind, he needs to figure out how he's going to be able to take care of his family. Mm-hmm. Even if you don't have kids, his significant other is his family.
Let me help some men out there because I think this is going to be a good point for us right here. Let me help you fellas for the ones that are not bringing the bread in. And you're wondering, how do I provide? Right? That's a question that a lot of men have. Yeah, if I'm not bringing any money in, how do I provide? Let me help you because I've been on both sides. I've been on the side where like I literally was home all day long and I could do nothing but be in the house. So what I did was provide for the home, in the home. Don't sit on your behind. Get up and clean some dishes. Go wash some clothes. Go get something ready for when your spouse comes home. It can make her life a little bit easier. Be ready for the kids when they get home. That's all work. Yep. That's all things that come with what? Provision.
Yep.
Go outside and mow the lawn. Go outside and clean the cars. Do something to give back to the home. You might not be able to pour money into the house, but you can pour some of your energy into the home. I'm getting so sick and tired of people talking about, well, that's a woman's job. But if you sitting home and you ain't doing your job, you ain't out there bringing in no money, and you talking about washing dishes, a woman's job? Please. You see how I did that, right?
Yep.
But stop playing with me. Because if you're not bringing no money here, sweat equity better be what you give into that home.
That's a fact.
Because that's provision.
That is a fact.
That's providing for children. Yo, when your kids come home from school and they don't have snacks, things prepared for them, and you've been home all day, what have you done? And
if you don't invest that sweat equity, since you're not bringing in the finances, if you're not investing that sweat equity, and you are now putting yourself in a position,
you're a hindrance.
You are now putting yourself in a position to allow yourself to be disrespected.
Yes, you're disrespecting yourself. You are literally disrespecting yourself, and the only person that's going to add on to it is the person who's tired of carrying the brunt, the load. And at that point, is it really their fault?
It's not. It's not. And there's no excuse that you can make.
None. No
excuse you can make. So if you want to be able to claim that respect, and you're in a position where you're in struggle, where you're struggling and you're trying to figure it out, mm-hmm. There's other ways that you can provide for your household, to be the man of the household.
Correct.
And show that you're trying to lead with example. Mm-hmm. Right?
And put that nonsense down. That thought process you have of what a man is. or what a man is not. Because if your thought process is a man goes out and works and you're not working, so now you're not a man, knock it off. You're still a man. Doing things in the house that's needed for the home. I don't see how that's translated to women's work or you're less of a man because you do those things. That's
taking care of the kids. Taking care of the kids because you can't find a job is a hell of a job. Taking care of kids ain't fucking, especially for us, man.
I'd go get a job doing construction in South Florida sun at 12 p.m. in the afternoon every day before I sit home with kids first.
That's the reason why daycare in Florida is $350 a week.
Talk about it.
Golly.
Yo, per kid.
Per kid.
I had 2 in daycare at the same time. My pocket's still bleeding.
That's a fact. It's the reason why it's such a big business in Florida.
Facts, big business.
It's that, and if you feel that you're being a hindrance in your home, then sit back and think about what it is that you're doing.
Correct.
What are you bringing to the table?
Yes.
Right. We're always talking about what's being brought to the table.
Right. That's proverbial table. Right. Yeah.
We're always talking about what's being brought to this table. So what are you bringing to the table? Mm-hmm. And if you feel that what at the moment while you're struggling, what you're bringing to the table is the care of your children.
Do it all you got.
Exactly.
Do it with everything you possibly got in your system.
Do it to the best of your ability so that when your wife comes home, she's able to say, shit, all right, okay.
One less thing I got to worry about.
Exactly.
Because let me tell y'all something, fellas, if y'all don't know this, worry is in every woman's DNA. That's how progression happens. If they don't worry most of the time, we don't. We won't plan if they don't worry.
Yeah. Now, if you're out here busting your ass, and doing everything you gotta do,
talk about it,
and your wife still come home, and call you a piece of shit, then you're in the wrong household.
You have to reconsider. And the reason why Jose is bringing this up because it's a real thing. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like this doesn't happen because of the work that I do. I hear it way more times than I want to about how men are doing the best they possibly can, but because of this fad and social media world about everybody's making $100,000 a week, they're being treated less than in their home because they might not have the finances, and they're doing the best that they can with what they have.
Listen, if all I have is McDonald's, and you my wife, and all I could give you is McDonald's, and you gonna have a face because all I could give you is McDonald's, then go find you somebody else.
Yeah. Keep it moving.
Go find you somebody else that could give you more than McDonald's.
Yeah.
I'll be perfectly fine.
And bro, so that slides right into the next topic. I'm glad you said that, and the way you said it, because the truth of the matter is the reason why so many men hold on to being breadwinners and we think that has respect is because at one point in time of their lives they were vulnerable and transparent with a woman.
Ooh, yes.
And it did not work out.
And it did not go their way.
You know what I'm saying? And so the reason we're talking about this is because shout out to my man Shaquille O'Neal and shout out to my man Kountry Wayne. The clip we're referring to came from the big podcast, Shaq's podcast, and the host asks Shaq, when do you ever open up to women? Kountry Wayne was basically saying that, man, don't open up to no woman because when you do, if they see you down, you'll never live it down and they'll run over you.
They'll always bring it back up.
And Shaq said, he asked, so you say you never open up to a woman ever? Shaq says never. And I reposted that, and I was like, "This is the sound of two men that I respect and love, but still hurt and unhealed." Because yes, I had the same experience, bro. You probably had the same experience. Yes. We've given our heart to the wrong one.
You know how great it feels to be able to live without that burden.
I didn't realize how great it was until I heard that post. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't recognize the severity and the significance of her holding my trust and my vulnerability under lock and key the way she does.
If you can't be vulnerable with the person that you have next to you, you're with the wrong person.
Bro, if you can't be vulnerable with the person that you enter into their body,
you're with the wrong
Let's talk
person.
about like when you making love to somebody, there's no restrictions.
That's your most vulnerable state.
Right. So when you got into that, because everybody's doing that, right, in the relationship. right? You getting them cheeks, right? Fellas, we in them cheeks, right? That's we going. That's what we doing. But that's your most vulnerable.
Except
and then
for Diddy.
Yeah, Diddy's cheeks is different. We ain't even gonna do that. No Diddy. Go back. So yeah, he's terrible. So when it comes down to like us really understanding like being vulnerable with a woman and sexually is literally the most vulnerable you can be. And after you come from that space, you can't tell them how you're feeling. Like after you've inserted your body into their body, right? We've connected souls. Right? Yep. Soul ties have been connected. Yep. Now I can't tell you my deepest fear because I'm scared you're going to bring it up. I'm scared if I tell you what I'm fearful of, you're going to use it against me.
That's deep, bro, because you know the type of weight that person is carrying on them, bro?
Yo, and honest to God, like I look at, and I'm not trying to like go too far into Shaquille's life and the situation, but it's like, bro, you really don't have the ground to stay that because it's like, yo, you cheated on your wife and she left you for the pastor dude, the Keon pastor, because you wasn't faithful to her.
Well, that's where it comes.
But you see what I'm saying, though?
That's where it comes.
But his pain is why he's probably being unfaithful, bro. The fact that he didn't let go of that pain of another woman hurting him is probably why he couldn't be faithful to his wife and lost her. Because Shaquille, to his own credit, he said publicly on other platforms, his woman was nothing but good to him. His ex-wife was the best woman he's ever had in his life, but because he wasn't ready for her, right? And then to go and hear this clip explain that to me. Like now I'm putting the pieces together. Oh, you was cheating on a good woman. You was doing her dirty because why? Number one, you were star and all that good stuff. But deeper than that, you were hurting from a past experience.
Still hurting.
And it's showing now because in that statement. Because let me tell you something, bro. As you said, there is nothing like being able to tell your woman everything.
You know, the best feeling coming home is being able to get to your door, close the door behind you, and leave the Superman suit outside.
Let it sit outside and just sit there and chill.
I'll pick it up in the morning.
Yeah, I don't need to wear that in here.
I'll pick it up in the morning. I don't need that in here.
Nah, I don't need it in here. They love me for who I am in here. And that's probably what the men they haven't gotten to yet.
If you're not getting that feeling at home,
yeah,
I suggest you seek it.
Yeah.
I suggest you seek it. And trust me, as I'm telling you right now, you will remember this day.
Mm-hmm. Facts. Let me tell you something, bro. I am standing 10 toes down on this. And somebody catching this, if y'all know Shaquille, that we want to have a conversation, you want to we sit down, I'd love to sit down and talk to him. Because for real, there's healing that needs to be done. Because if you can say that you can never be vulnerable and transparent with a woman, you're never going to experience true love in life.
Yep.
You're never going to experience that real love that God gives. Because it's always restricted. It's always compromising your mind. So therefore, you can't love fully, so you'll never be able to receive love fully. So now, when I think to myself, man, how many times did you have something wrong with you and you just didn't open your mouth and say nothing because you were scared of being hurt again?
And listen, we all go through it.
Every last one of us.
Even with little things, right? There's times, as great as your household is, there's still times that you hold things back.
Yeah, absolutely.
It happens to all of us. But you know what? It's not things that are hindering you in a specific manner, or sooner or later, you end up saying it. At least that's how I find myself.
Yeah. It comes out.
Sooner or later, I'm like, yo, babe, last week I was thinking about X, Y, and Z, and this is how I felt.
That had
sooner or later, it comes out.
Absolutely.
Even if you don't say it at that moment. But knowing that you have that.
Yeah.
Is what makes the difference.
That safe place.
Because sometimes you just don't want to talk to anybody.
Nah.
Sometimes you just want to sit
process
in your office.
Yeah.
In your room, in your living room, and flick through channels or flick through Instagram or social media because you don't want to hear nothing.
You just want to be for a little while.
We all go through it.
Yeah.
We all go through it.
Yes, indeed. But and like one thing I've learned about when I go through those, and I've set this up in my household now because in the beginning it was difficult, but now it's way more easy, is that, fellas, if you need that time to just like to do things you just finished saying, mention of scrolling or just having time to yourself, be vocal about that.
Of course.
be vocal about it and reassure them that you're gonna come back from the space.
Listen, guys, I'm not feeling good right now.
Yeah, give me a few.
I'm in one of those. I have my menstruation right now. I have my
menstruation's crazy.
I'm getting that menstruation right now.
I'm moody right now.
let me be.
Yeah.
Let me be.
Give me that time. Absolutely. And to be honest, after I was able to vocalize it with my family and them to see me and show them that I would come back, and I would come back as their father, as their husband, it gave them a sense of peace and understanding. Like, oh, when he goes there, oh, he's fine. Give him his time. He gonna come back regular. But what happens is, if you don't give them that security, they're worrying, right? Women's DNA worry. The kids pick it up from their mother. Daddy, you okay? And all they want to know is, are you all right? And a lot of times we don't even want to say it, are we all right? But if we just be vocal and say, you know what, listen, give me these moments, we can have that time. And then when you come back, it's no problem with being vulnerable, transparent, and saying, you know what, babe, listen, I was feeling some kind of way, X, Y, Z happened to me. I didn't want to take it out on you. I just needed some time.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And to the women, right, to our women out there, because Shaquille and Kountry Wayne and everybody else in my feed on my Instagram right now, that post is going crazy. The comments is going ridiculous. I'm heartbroken because there are a lot more men that are stuck on that side of that equation than where we are right now, that we found a woman to teach us better. And let me tell y'all something right now. I didn't get here on my own. I didn't get to this emotional solid place on my own. It took my wife helping me heal a lot of those wounds that other women inflicted on me, or I allowed to be inflicted on myself. However you want to call it. It took my wife to help me heal those wounds. It took her to teach me that she wasn't like every other woman that I had experienced in my life. But guess what? I had to give her that chance, fellas. I had to give her that chance to prove herself to me.
It goes with putting all those red flags on a scale and understanding if this is the person or not.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? You can't just open yourself up 100% without understanding the person that you're with, right? And it also comes with you don't just sleep with anybody.
Come on.
You don't just sleep with anybody, because soul connection is a real thing.
Real soul ties are real.
And what's gonna end up happening is that her demons will become your demons. So let's go on that route. You don't just go to bed with anybody.
Right.
And before you decide that this is the person that you want to be with, that you're gonna stay with, make sure that there's a balance here so that you understand what you're getting into.
Absolutely.
Let's have those difficult conversations before the knot is tied.
Yeah.
Oh no, we have time after we get married. Bullshit.
Yeah. Nah.
Bullshit. Yeah. Everything needs to be put on the table. Everything needs to be put on the table.
Facts.
At the beginning.
Early.
Have those difficult conversations at first when you first start dating. So that when you do get married, it's nothing but building memories. Yeah. Because if not, you're going to be building a relationship when you should be doing nothing but building memories.
And let me tell you, bro, the one thing I can say about that is like, yo, you don't want the stuff that you're supposed to be doing early in a relationship to come back later.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's nasty work at that point, bro.
Oh, yeah.
And let me tell y'all something, fellas. And this might be counterintuitive to all your human nature as a man. And I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Right? Like he said, have the difficult conversations on purpose first. Because what you're scared of is that you won't get the pleasures later. But I'm telling you, if you get past the hard conversations first, those pleasures are promised later.
And they'll be heightened.
Woo!
And they'll be heightened.
Yo, listen.
Listen, when you meet your significant other, and you meet your significant other's parents, and they tell you that the person is messy, don't let that go over your head.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they're saying it for a reason.
Yes, indeed.
Even if the person that's next to you is telling you, oh no, I'm not like that anymore. I don't do that. I think.
Listen to the parents, huh? Listen.
When a tree is grown and it grew crooked, it's hard to straighten that bitch out.
Your Dominican sayings is on point. Huh?
If you ain't fucking pulled them strings from an early stage,
yeah, it's a wrap.
Tree gonna stay like this.
It's gonna be tipped over the whole trip.
So When the parents say this person is messy, this person doesn't do dishes, this person got shit streaks in their underwears, you better fucking listen. Don't let it go over your head.
And like, and another trait that I want to say really quick about understanding being vulnerable and transparent, it's understanding that the heart of the person you're with, right? Like, there's some people whose heart has been scarred. And sad to say, it's a lot of our women that have been hurting and haven't had time to heal. So they'll come into relationships and not know the truth of the matter, how sensitive we are as men, right? Women don't know that something simple as me bringing an idea to you and you not listening with your full attention might crush a man. Yeah,
because the system has said that the men aren't sensitive. System has embedded in women's mind that we shouldn't be sensitive. Mm-hmm. We can't be sensitive. We need to be strong. If not, we're not men. And the truth and the reality is that not all women are ready for emotionally intelligent men.
Nah, I would say majority is not. Because honest to God, like, the more now I learn about emotional intelligence and being secure within myself, the things that I used to allow to pull me out of my skin was a regular thing. Now it's like, I can't believe I used to actually...
That used to trigger me?
It used to bother me? Like,
that
how
used to
petty?
trigger?
Now I'm like, I used to be petty as shit. I'm like, petty out of nowhere. Why would that bother me?
Why the hell would I let that bother me? Nah,
and then, like,
I'm wilding.
And now it's to the point where I've learned so much more about myself. It made me a better leader and also allowed me to be transparent and vulnerable even more now because I'm not trying to hold this facade up with the woman that's actually living with me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no King Kong mode.
Nah. King Kong got some shit on me.
Yeah.
You got, especially when I'm in my house. Listen, I'm not tough as nothing, but don't try to come to that door. I'm not too tough at all, but I'm damn sure in my home as a regular man, and I want my family to see me that way.
I have a poster outside that says, "We live by the castle doctrine."
Yes, indeed. Stay by that doctrine.
If you don't want to meet Jesus,
my sign says, "Damn the dog." You better worry about the owner in there. But yo, listen, man. In closing, I do want to say that but before I go there, I want to say one thing to the ladies. Ladies, if you want the best version of your man, if you want the Superman all the time, if you want him to be able to run through walls for you, you want him to be able to stop bullets, you want him to stop trains in a single bound, you want the best version of that man, allow him to be vulnerable and transparent with you. Allow him to take that cape off and you see that man at the most vulnerable state and then nurse him, heal him, help him understand that you're not like the other ones. You're the one that's going to show him the other side of life. Let him know that there's a brighter day, and I can promise you this. The moment you begin to help him heal those wounds, he'll begin to cover yours. He'll learn more to be better for you. And I can promise you that because I'm living proof of that. Before this moment right now, I could tell you right now, I didn't give a damn about my wife feeling or emotional state. But now where I am now, I care about what she's feeling. I care about where she's at emotionally. Because now as a leader, I know that's part of my responsibility now because I'm whole. I'm emotionally okay with myself to worry about somebody else. So ladies, if you want that man to be...
Yes.
Yeah, that's our alarm. If you want that man to be the best version of himself, permit him to be transparent and vulnerable with you. That's the best version of you you'll get at him.
Pause. Go ahead.
Allow him to be himself. Allow him to be that Clark Kent and only wear that Superman cape when he's outside, because then you'll be able to see him for who he truly is. And then you'll be able to love the boy he is and really appreciate the man he's grown to be. And that's the process of understanding elevation inside of a relationship. And the most thing you can give a man is a space to be vulnerable and transparent with you.
What a fucking closing this, man. It felt like we were in a fucking court case. And he just did the closing of the century.
Close arguments?
Yeah.
Did I win the case?
Yeah, I think you did. We'll see in the comments down below.
Yeah, definitely, man. As always, please do us that favor. Write down in the comments. Get down there and give us some information. Let us know who you are, where you at, where you checking us out from, because we do appreciate that. And as you can tell, we do get back in the comments and respond to you guys. So, Jose.
Tickle that algorithm, no lube.
Yeah, Jose, do you have any other words for the people before we get out of here? Anything else other than the promotion for the lube? Your KY. Let's get a deal. You know what I mean? The same deal you give Diddy. You know what I mean?
Oh man. I wanna close with that women, let's allow our men to be more vulnerable, be more compassionate with their state and their position, understand what they're going through so that they don't feel the burden at home as they feel outside.
Yes, indeed.
Let's be peaceful. Let's love each other and show that, so that tomorrow can be a brighter day. Absolutely.
I'm going to leave with this, guys. Fellas, fathers, please learn to father, learn to husband, learn to lead with the same grace and mercy that God has given you every day. Understand that you get a lot of things that you probably don't deserve. And also, there are some things you're supposed to deserve that you didn't get because of mercy. So understand that when your kids are stressing you, when your kids are doing the things that they're probably not supposed to, understand that you've been there, you've done those things, and you also was blessed with the grace and the mercy and the space to grow and be the person that you are today. So don't hinder your kids from growing. Make sure that you're giving them an opportunity to be the best version of themselves by you being the best version of yourself. Please don't look at your bread situation as a respect level, because it's only going to hurt you. And the last point I'm going to say is, be your vulnerable and your most transparent. It's your greatest strength. With that being said, this has been your boy, RJD, the Imperfect Gentleman, and my guy,
your boy, JP, the Imperfect Husband.
Yes, and fathers, I did that backwards, didn't I?
Yep.
I did it backwards. Fathers, to the world, you're just a dad. That's all. But to your family, you're the world. You're their world. Understand that. It's not just a tagline, but it's the truth. And until we see you guys in these podcast streets again, be good to yourself and the ones around you. And if you can't be good to those people, it's all good. Just get those people from around you. It's your boy again, RJD, the Imperfect Gentleman, and my guy.
Once again, your boy, JP, the Imperfect Husband.
And yes, this has been another dope episode of the Imperfect Fathers Podcast. Y'all be blessed, because we will. Peace, King.
Peace. Another one.